We're going to do this in 3 parts today. The first part about siloing, second part's going to be about BizSite, and the third part's going to be tips and tricks. We're not going to be answering questions, but please write your questions down during the process of Henrik sharing today, and then we'll answer those at the end of that particular segment.
Thank you for joining everybody today. What we're going to cover today is silos or siloing. And what I'll start with is a general concept of siloing, and then we're talking about siloing on GMBs, and then we'll go over a few small tips and tricks, a little Google service which will help us doing some nice posters, and we will look at a nice free photo program, and then we will maybe, if time permits, look a little bit on some schema again. When you see this, can you tell me what this website is about? Fruit? Yeah, that's correct, fruit. And when a Google bot comes to the website, it will look exactly the same and say, this is a website about fruit, because that's the only thing that they're seeing. And if we're looking at this one as well, it's also about fruit, right? So when a Google bot comes and they see a website, they would like to see whether they can actually look at the content and see what's the main topic's about. And if the main topic, if they can detect what the main topic's about, to see whether there's any supporting content, i.e. what we call supporting keywords, to digest what is the site's about. Many people is just throwing up pages and linking a little bit together. But here, if we take a look at this one, you can see we have a site about fruits, but this time we have actually tried to silo the damn thing. So we will be talking about bananas, we'll be talking about apples, we will talk about oranges, we'll be talking about peaches. If we structure our website this way, then Google will have it much more easy to look at each individual silos and actually say, okay, this silo is about bananas, and if we look at the banana silo, there might be a special category, which is the health benefits of eating bananas, and we might have what we call supporting articles, which is actually would be, for instance, a post or page on your website, the powerhouse of nutrition when we're talking about bananas. So you can structure your website into different kinds of silos. And if you do that and don't cross-link between the silos, then Google will be able to actually support what you're trying to sell and support what you're trying to tell. And then you have a much higher probability of ranking. If we look at the silo and let me just go see what I can find one here. You will agree that it doesn't make sense maybe to make links between apples and oranges and peaches and bananas. So what we normally will do, we will link between the different posts in a silo. So you have a category which might be health benefits. You have a supporting article here. So this little banana here will link up to another supporting article, which will link up to another supporting article, which will link up to another supporting article, which will link up to what we could call a category page, which is the first part of that silo. You could say a category page is actually a landing page. And if you want to link between silos, what you normally will do, that you will link, if there is an idea of linking from a banana health fits powerhouse nutrition post to an apple silo, then you will normally link up to the landing page of that silo. So you don't bleed your silos, as we're calling it. Is everybody okay with what we are trying to achieve here in terms of when we are siloing a website in this fashion? When we are talking about our little mega poster, then we would like to silo our post in a similar fashion. So in the poster, we have an opportunity to link to a post stack. And the only requirements there is to creating a silo in the GMB factory. That is that you first post will have to go live immediately. So if I'm making a new post here, I call it video marketing in Florida, give my bottom here, I'm doing a link to my money website, creating a post here, adding a photo. Then I have to go out and create post now, or make the post live immediately. When I've done that, which I'm doing now, then I can go in, start again, a new post in the silo, go up here, this post 2, and then I can add the post to a schedule, 19th, 9 p.m. This is local time here, and I'll add a photo as well, which was too small, sorry about that. And then I can add the post, and then continue adding. Let's think about how can we actually support this in terms of our little blogger site. So if we're looking at blogger here, normally we will go in, we will just hit this one and say we want a blogger post after we have created the post. It will open our blogger, and here I will have my blogger name. So in order to go alongside the silo structure here, then you could say, okay, I will have a blog here, but if I make a small group, let's say group of blogs around my topics. So instead of the video agency marketing, video SEO, I could have video marketing in Miami, video marketing in St. Petersburg, video marketing in Tampa, video marketing in Orlando, etc. So I would actually create a small group of blogs around that and then stack those posts into those different blocks. If I go back to this, a normal way of siloing would be that you will have at least 3 silos, recommended 5. In each silo, you'll have 3 categories, but recommended 5 categories. And each category will have at least 5 supporting articles. You normally will start the silo with the main keyword that you want to rank for, and then the category keywords will be a little bit more long tail, and in each supporting article you will have your long tail keywords that will build up and support that major keyword that you want to rank for, which is your silo keyword. And that's the same thing that you could try to do when you're trying to silo in the GMBs, that you will find the major keyword that you want to rank for, and then you will have the keywords that's supporting, the more long tail keywords that's supporting that major keyword down the line, the posts. So if we go back to our little example of ocean lending, the mortgage. So if I want to have mortgage broker, that will be my first in my stack. And then the supporting ones that will come below is maybe could make it location oriented then, and then I'll say Melbourne here, Florida. And I should actually go up and make this home loan broker Florida. And then my next one post in the next series here will be home loan brokers and maybe Palm Bay, Florida. I will try to stack up all those keywords, and that will give me a very, very powerful way of ranking my GMB. And I want to show you something here. I just have to load the page here. So if we take a look at the inside, you can see there's the brand search that's already popular, but best mortgage broker near me, best mortgage lenders again, best mortgage lenders in Florida, best mortgage rates near me. And the near me ones is because I made a silo with near me keywords. So I had best mortgage broker near me, and then the location, which I put in. So that stacked up actually increase the awareness from Google in terms of the near me keywords. So what I suggest you do is actually try to look at, could I have a service or something which you could say near me, and then for instance to have a post which will say you search for mortgage broker near me upon Vega. So here I try to hit Walkersburg again, and I'm also hitting near me, and I'm hitting the location as well. That's just some ideas of how you could structure your silos in terms of your post activities. So Patrick, do we have any questions yet?
So here's the question that I would like to ask. So there's some people here that are in Mega Poster, they're in Ranking Factory, or we've invited through our Facebook groups to come and just listen and learn. Can you just take a few minutes and just kind of go over and share how you might be able to do some of the siloing, but do it as though they don't have any tools? Is there a simple way that we can just share with them by going into the poster? Obviously, they go into their site, their GMB, and they do posts, right? Or are you going to handle that possibly in the next section?
No, I can do it. I can do it now. So
okay, but let's do that, because we do invite people that are not our members here, and they are interested in learning about posting itself. So I think it would be good if we could share some things that they could do without having our tool.
What you normally do, you will go in, create a post. So you'll write your post here, add a photo, and you can see here it's a what's new post that I'm creating. I'll go down here, I will write my post. This one will be the first post in my silo. So I'll go in and add a button called More. I will link to my website. Like this. And when I'm done here, I'll go on publish. And as you can see, there's the post immediately posted into the system. Now, when I want to make a new post, which is linking to this post, I will have to go down here, grab the share link as one solution, and then I will have to say, okay, I'll create a new post. So what's important here is that you will link to the previous post. You can either go in and say, I'm doing that by just dropping the link here, but you can see it takes up an awful lot of characters where you only have 300. So an alternative is to do this instead, that you go down, add a button called Learn More, and then you'll put the link for that button here, and then you'll publish that. So if I go and view this on search, you can see here's my little post, and there's the one I did before. So in theory, when I'm hitting Learn More here, I will actually go to the next post, this one. So you get the idea that linking to the previous post within the series, and that's how you do it manually. Actually, what we are doing is siloing on the BIS sites in general, because each post will become what you call, or each post that we're making is posted on as updates on the BIS site. And when I'm going into this one, so when I click here on this post, I'll get this up. And I don't know whether Jordan was referring to, you could actually take these and link to those instead of, because then you're linking directly to the BIS site rather to the SERPs and the knowledge panel. So if I'm clicking here, it should go over to the next posts in that series here. So let me go back again. Maybe it's a little bit confusing, but each post has a page on the website. What Jordan was actually suggesting is that instead of taking the link here to the knowledge panel, I will take the link up here and link to that instead of. So this post on the BIS site will link to the next post on the BIS site.
The other thing is why we want to kind of go over on the BIS site section right now, as you were saying, is that how many of you that are on here right now actually work on the BIS site versus just posting? Because statistically, 86% of the people that have a Google My Business do not post on their biz site. Now we're kind of separate because that's our business. If you're not, in capital, bold, underscored, highlighting, screaming in your face letters is you should. And so that's why, even though these are synced together and they're different processes. So that's why we wanted to share with you today the post silo and then the biz site prospects.
You should, as Jordan is mentioning there, we should silo, and when we're siloing in the poster to the next post, we are actually grabbing here the live post links in here, as you're familiar with. So all these links here, links to the post place within the SERPs, where they will live forever. And when you're on the business website, you would only view here 9 posts at the time. If you go down and look down here where it says view all, then you go actually over and look at the SERPs or in the knowledge panel. So you get the listing of all the posts over here. You're all familiar with Match PR service. And what Match does is actually he will be grabbing this link up here and he would embed that into his stacking. So that becomes very powerful because that is lifting the business website up by being pushed from the cloud stack that he's producing. And I know he was on yesterday, Match, but once again, if you have a GMB where you're struggling to rank that GMB, do go and order a press release, and then you'll bump up in the 3-pack. Even though that is a competitive niche, you will really push them up. And if you stack them, then the competitor can kiss you goodbye, because then you're sitting up at the first spot.
So for those people who don't necessarily, Henrik, understand that, the fact is that if you get a press release syndication and you have this link to your biz site in it, then just remember you're getting 200, 300, 400 potential links back to this site from highly authoritative links. And just be careful to make sure that the press releases that you're getting are not the ones that are no follow links. You want to search out and find ones that are doing it in a different way, that are giving you embed and follow links. So
normally in a press release, the links in the press release are no follows, but the embeds are do followed links. And it's their Match service is outstanding because he can do, is it 3 or 4 embeds?
He gets a total of 7.
7 embeds or
7
links?
He has four embeds and he gets 3 links, so he gets a total of 7.
Yeah, okay, but the four links that you're getting is actually do follow links, which means that if you have a syndication of 300s, then you get 4 times 300 links back. So that's awesome, and that really powers up because you will of course embed your GMB map. You can embed your post. You can embed your business website into the press release. So that's a very, very good tactic to use when you're trying to rank your GMBs. Any questions out there?
Any benefit to linking both the post and the post on the biz site? Any benefit?
So when you're siloing, you're siloing to the post, but you will have your link in here to your biz website. So if I was to go here, I could have taken this link and just pasted in here. So I have a link here. Normally I'll put it in a button, but anyway, you get the idea that you just put in a link to the biz website there. You have a link to the other post here, and then you're actually linking out to the post in the stack and to the post on the business website. But that should be the same post as we were discussing here. You will have to link to relevant content, and that's the key word. That's relevant content.
Question is, does RFR have a GMB poster built into it as well?
Yes, it has, but it doesn't have the silo facility in it.
It doesn't have a lot of things in it. It's a basic poster, but it is there.
It can schedule and it can post.
Terry's question or statement, but the software does not gather the URLs of the pages of the biz site yet. So the possibility of that happening is in the works, but it doesn't at the moment. But still, we're still showing how people can do that, because remember, this is a eclectic audience. Some have the software, some don't. So we have to be cognizant of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on into your segment of the biz site. Okay.